Your president said, "Oh, more edema those who were affected yesterday. Flood na of course no. I been move from where the show or monka. Been move lose properties and other things no. I had a president Mahama say, "Oh, more kakra edema. Zazo and or more particularly you guys those who are affected no." Automatically it means say mo fear na mo sisi no esi waterlog area e ade a blocking ensuo no akwan mountain nya ade ensuo no enya akwanya etwam ntina yade ye ba be demolish ni nyina mo fa emotions ene nsam keka ni nyina ento nchen na ye man no ho ene ye adwin ye da achen so ne be ye chirima no so no omo mbefa the same or how na ye famu ene no ensam kakra we ene odi tuja.
We just finished an aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. One, the recorded rainfall today is one of the highest in several years. The Meteo are looking at approximately 140 millimeters that was dumped on Accra. Last year, the maximum rainfall was 56 on a single day, and so the volumes are much higher. And so there are many issues to the flooding in Accra. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. GMET say that in 2024, for a period of 30 days in June, we had 85 millimeters of rain. And then in 2025, it increased to 172. And then in 2026, for the same 30-day period in June, it increased to 333. And so the waterways are not getting chance to recover before more rain is dumped. And the wet days are more. Out of 30 days, 22 days, it kept raining. And so there were only 7 dry days or 8 dry days in June. And so that's the climate side. That is an act of God that we can't control. But then there's also the engineering and the man-made causes. That is, like I said before, Accra is built between 2 natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And before Accra was built, the streams used to flow through this plain to reach the sea. Now, the British brought the capital to Accra, and in those years it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is attitudinal and human behavior. That is dumping garbage in the drains, putting all kinds of items in the drains after we finish creating waste instead of sending it to the appropriate place. Even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the aboboya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. And so we need to, one, look at it from an engineering perspective in terms of how we can open up the channels, but at the same time look at how we can identify all the buildings that are obstructing the waterways. We've said this many times. I'm tired of hearing it, but anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal. We'll not only break the houses, we have to move the rubble out of the way, because there's no use breaking a house and leaving the rubble in the waterway. It's just the same as leaving the house. And so it's going to be quite a major issue in order to resolve the problem of Accra. But ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra. And that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. Like I said, it's a 20-year project. They are still working on the designs. Once they do that, we'll demarcate. People can start buying plots. If they like, they can start building houses. We'll do the roads, bring the water and electricity so that it eases the pressure on Accra as a city. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've seen many of the videos where people had to be carried out of their houses. They deployed their boats, and they helped to save quite a lot of lives. NADMO will do what it can to try and identify the victims and see how we can just support them in a way in the next few days. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected. And so let me again express my sympathy, but let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, he will repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's no need to repair the roof. This time, to repair the roof. This time should be different.
And see, your president, no, Eddie Mushin, Echo, surrounding the way Accra is here fire, afa. And no, he came in conclusion say idea Accra and Sangasana is in between and people. And so no, a toffee people no so a tonus if Sunday free people no so bar idea a quine idea kunumu. And as a quine no so and most a dynasty. And so no enya quine enko. And this and a beba. Now okay videos ya echaguya mobile. Na me die me hu ye krampo a me ye mu shame no enso ya afadan no so nyina o na eja asenya tom wo hwe video we say ya so ne start ye no na nya ade a mo dwen wo so ne beti me do that level no enti na mo wo inside. So imagine say a dan brain so eja ya atoyi san kronfo no omo area mo honom if they were having the same mindset say nya ade enso ne be do something so and omo hwe inside na eja asenya tom a hwe the way ya enso ni sifada chance ni so omoye den survive ekwan ben so ena obefa edi adwane free area mu honom even post what ifie mu hobia ekwan ben so ena obefa so edi free eye efie honom a obekom no mu binimu ewo mrwafo wo fie mu binimu awo 30 40 entisa no woye den efa enkwala ni nyina edi fanso we mu na wohwe videos ya echaguya absia emobo na yeje mwankwa na yeji nipa nkwa.
This is serious. Watch that side. Watch that side. Hey, Charlie. They carry the cars away. Oh. Hey. Jesus. Oh! All right. Rescue team. Kumchacha area behind Malam station, behind Malcolm. Please, we need a rescue team. Please, we need an assistance. So people are dying in their room. The whole place is flooded with water. We are begging for an assistance. National Service, Fire Service. Please, Kumchacha area behind the Malam station, Malcolm. That road, the whole place is flooded. The whole place is flooded. People's houses have been occupied by the rainwater, and it has entered their rooms. People are dying, children are dying. Please come and rescue, okay? Pregnant women are in the room. We are begging. We've climbed to a rooftop. Please, we need rescue team. We are begging.
Nansu AU cars echo. Na car crampo nansu AU ko ina nipa dasani. Nipa dasani ya undimi peda car crampo. Enso AU car echo now. Ubetima ja wadwentro e comment section honom. Same way die. Ade yemfa emotions no ene nkeka no ento nchen na demolition no afi na ebeba so. Demolition chenchenche bi ebeba so a ebia mo besu asense die but ni ye die mu a ene yepe. Ubetima ja wadwentro e comment section honom. Aha Accra.Some TV. Ema ro mfi so beja wadwentro e comment section honom.